Today we're checking out a video entitled Chris Brown Albums Ranked Worst to Best, and it's by Naturalistic Theory. I have a feeling this list might go two ways. Either it will be really good or it will go badly and make you question whether these people actually listen to albums or not. If I was to guess what they will have, the list, what the ranking will look like, I'll say they'll put I think they'll put Graffiti last. I just think like people just tend to throw away anything Chris Brown did in 2009. So yeah, I think they will put Graffiti last. Number one will be his self-titled debut. I think that's what people will always tend to go back to claim to be his best body of work. I think other albums like Exclusive, Fame, and X will be in the top four. I think Heartbreak on a Full Moon will be ranked low. I think it will probably be second to last or third. Indigo will be placed above Heartbreak. I think Breezy will be around 5th or 6th. Royalty may, depending where they place Breezy, I think Royalty and Breezy will be back to back. A Fortune may be around number 5. That's what I think the video will be. It will be Chris Brown first. Fame will probably come in second. Exclusive will be third. X will probably be fourth. Fortune will probably be fifth. Royalty will be sixth. Breezy will come in seventh. They'll have Indigo 8. They'll have Heartbreak and a Full Moon 9. And Graffiti will be 10th. Now this is not my ranking. This is just what I'm assuming they will have to say about Chris's album, so let's just jump into it.
What's up, everybody? I'm QB for Culture's Theory, and we are back with another ranking. This is one you guys have been asking for a while. He's a country boy from Tappahannock. His words, not ours. CB has been on the scene since he was 16. Over his 15-plus year career, Chris has dropped 10 solo studio albums, a collab with Tyga, and a handful of other mixtapes. Brown has been hailed as one of the best artists of all time due to his prolific catalog, innovative dance styles, and captivating live performances. We're seeing how those solo studio albums stack up against each other and what truly deserves to be called his best album. If you like what you see, hit that thumbs up, drop a comment below, and subscribe so you don't miss a list. Now that that's out of the way, let's get to it. Number 10, Heartbreak on a Full Moon. You ever heard the saying, bigger isn't always better? Nowhere will you find a better example of this other than the singer's 45-song, 3-hour-long 8 studio project. In an era of diluted streams and short attention spans, Breezy put it all on the line, and while we admire his work ethic, we can't say that the album is heavy on replay value.
Okay, pause. I said Heartbreak and a Full Moon would have ranked 9th. It ended up ranking as the worst album he's put out, and they're saying it's because it was too long. Now, do I agree with that? Personally, the album was definitely long. It was what, 57 tracks on the deluxe, 45 standard version. It was definitely long, and it definitely had a lot of numerous fillers, like at least 15 tracks were fillers, but there was some really good content in between that, so let me hear what they have to say entirely.
Home to some solid tracks, the album is by no means a complete waste of time. It's just tedious to sort through the nearly 50 tracks to find a handful of songs that make it worthwhile. Club bangers, Party featuring Usher and Gucci Mane, Pills and Automobiles, and High End each give you something to turn up to. Strong album cuts like the title track, Paradise, and Runaway also make for an enjoyable listen. If you whittle it down to its core, the album could certainly move up a couple spots on the list. However, when looking at it in its entirety, we can't help but sit it firmly at the bottom of our ranking.
And I don't entirely disagree with them, because if you checked out my video where I revisited Heartbreak and a Full Moon, I essentially kind of said some of the same things. Like, at its core, this is a really good album if you strip away all of the noise. And it did have quite a lot of noise. So, I don't entirely disagree with her take on this. So, it being ranked last doesn't seem so far-fetched if you're looking for a complete body of work, and not a body of work inside a body of work inside another body of work.
Number 9, Indigo. Brown's 9th release and 3rd to top the charts lands at our 9th spot. Slimming down to just 32 tracks, CB's 2nd consecutive double disc has a list of producers longer than the CBS receipt. But this varied project with its deep bag of sounds makes sure that each one of Chris's skill sets gets highlighted. The album sees him linking up with her, Justin Bieber, Tank, and a reunion of the Young Money heavy hitters with Wayne, Nicki, Drake, and Tyga all making appearances. Major contributions from OG Parker, Hitmaker, and Vinyl's tie the album sound together pretty nicely. While it's a much more cohesive and impactful offering than Heartbreak, it's still
definitely a more cohesive body of work than a Heartbreak and a Full Moon. With that, I do agree.
Too bloated and inconsistent to rank any higher on this list.
Do agree that it also had fillers. It's no surprise to me that the two longest albums he's put out are the ones that they rank the lowest. Is all I'm saying. Like, I just think there's an agenda there.
For 8, Graffiti. Graffiti debuted at number 7 on the charts,
This may be the
barely
first time
moving
Graffiti
100,000
has not
units
been
in its
last.
first week. Many
Surprise.
people would attribute this underperformance to the domestic violence scandal that had Chris in the headlines all throughout the year. It didn't help that the album's infusion of synth pop production and oversaturated auto-tune vocals played out as jarring departures from his traditional R&B sound. Running another feature from frequent collaborator Lil Wayne, the lead single I Can Transform You would peak in the top 20, being one of the highlights on the album along with Take My Time, the singer's collaboration with Tank. Despite the album being critically and commercially panned, it's not as bloated as the aforementioned albums, coming up at a lean 13 tracks for the standard edition. So he gets points for trimming the fat. Chris also did write virtually every song on the album, so kudos to him for taking creative control and netting 2 Grammy nods. Number 7, Breezy. CB's most recent release.
I don't have anything to add to her take on Graffiti. It's an okay listen. It has some really great tracks. I love Crawl. I really love Crawl. And some of the little dancey tracks were nice. For Your Love was one of them that I really liked.
Makes it to number 7 on our list. With a mere 24 songs and runtime of 1 hour and 20 minutes, Breezy interestingly holds the title of Brown's shortest album in nearly 7 years, linking up with everyone from Lil Baby and ESTG to Wizkid and 5 Foreign, then again with Lil Wayne on Possessive. Breezy sees Chris collaborating with some of the biggest names in the industry. The album would debut at number 4, moving 72,000 copies in its first week, to the disappointment of Brown himself, feeling that the release didn't get the support it deserved. Ultimately, while we feel Call Me Every Day, Catch a Body, and Psychic are some of the strongest releases,
it didn't get the reception it deserved. That's a fact, but Chris, it also did not get the promotion it deserved. You and your label could have done so much more to promote Breezy. So it ranking in at 7th, right? It's not so bad.
recent memory, the album fell out of rotation too quickly to make it any higher on our list. We
Rare
just hope moving
singles,
forward,
no
Chris
follow-up.
goes back to his 12 to 15 song track list, giving his album cuts the best chance to stand out and be appreciated. Fun fact, Possessive marked the 7th time Chris tapped Weezy for an album feature. We know he's had collab projects before with Tyga and Young Thug, but if he were to do another, would you rather see him do it with Lil Wayne or somebody else like Drake? Let us know in the comments below.
Drake.
Number 6, X. Following back-to-back number 1 albums and the most
Oh, hell nah. I said X would have been 2nd and it ended up being 5th. Wow. Okay, now the list is getting into ridiculous territory.
critical success he had ever experienced, Chris had a daunting task ahead of him. Try to outdo himself again. Needless to say, X is one of Chris's most ambitious projects to date, moving almost 150,000 units the first week. The album would debut at number 2. This was more than 10,000 more units than his previous number 1 release. X would see collabs with Kendrick and up-and-coming Jhené Aiko, Usher, Wayne, Ross. If you can name them, they probably were on there. Capped at 17 songs and just over an hour runtime, the album used every second effectively and helped expand his artistic soundscape. The only reason we can't put it any higher is because of how good his top tier projects are. Be sure to check out New Flame.
I don't apologize for saying X should be a lot higher, and it's not even up for a debate. With all of the praise that you've just sung on X, I just think it should definitely be higher.
Autumn Leaves and Loyalty to get a sense of what this album had to offer. Number 5, Royalty. Dedicated to his daughter amidst a dramatic
X is
shift
way
in his
better
personal
than
life.
Royalty, bro. Bro, come on. X is way better than Royalty. And I love some of the tracks on Royalty. I love the pop tracks. I love the R&B cut so much. Royalty probably had like 18 tracks, I think, and I probably like 15 of them.
Sees Chris employing more traditional and alternative R&B elements compared to his previous projects. You hear more of an 80s blend of soft pianos and warm melodies rather than the up-tempo hip-hop drums and 808s. The album would debut at number 3 on the charts with 184,000 sold in the first week, marking a significant increase in sales despite being his lowest charting album since Graffiti. While the singles released for the album didn't make the impact anticipated, Back to Sleep would go on to reach the top 20. Brown would direct 8 music videos for songs off the project, structuring them as a linear story, which demonstrated a big leap in artistry that he hadn't exhibited before. Royalty would receive moderate praise from critics, but we still feel like it's one of the more underrated projects. Check out Proof, Liquor, and Little Bit before you take our word for it, though. Don't shoot it.
And then when you look at the tracks that they keep suggesting from the albums, you get a feeling that they really don't really be appreciating like the artistry of Chris. Proof should not be. I would never say tell someone who's not heard Royalties to go listen Proof. Like, that's the track that's gonna get you into the album. No, I'm gonna say go listen Make Love. Like that's an R&B cut that's gonna get you into the vibe. Little Bit is fun, but it's not really much when you look at the writing of a Little Bit. I'll probably say go listen Liquor. Go listen Fine By Me. Like the writing on Fine By Me is actually really fun and it's upbeat. So when you look at the tracks they're suggesting, you kind of see where the music taste is.
Messenger. Number 4, Fortune. Brown's would-be double CD fame resulted in a sequel of sorts in this album, earning him his second straight #1 debut. Fortune sees a more mature Chris reflecting on past mistakes, exploring themes of vulnerability, and a renewed focus on intimacy. The album would see Chris teaming up with artists like Nas, Big Sean, and Wiz Khalifa, while continuing his work with the Runners, the Underdogs, and the business behind the boards. Fortune also features writing from then up-and-coming R&B acts Stephen Streeter and Money Long. The project didn't enjoy the same commercial success as its predecessors and would be at the bottom of a lot of critics' year-end lists due to its lyrical content. While we agree the lyrical content can leave a lot to be desired in some places, the improvement in production compared to Fame makes the choice between the two a toss-up. Number 3, Fame. Standing for
Fortune was really good. I really like the fact that he went for so many guitar sounds and more acoustic vibes. I feel Fortune maybe is most intimate album. So it coming in at 4th on their list isn't so bad. Like that's fair. Fame being in front is also fair. So
for Forgiving All My Enemies, Chris Brown's 4th studio album would also be his first Billboard chart topper. On top of moving 270,000 units in his first week, his second highest career mark, the album would also grab Chris's only Grammy for Best R&B Album and cement his claim to superstar status. The highs are super high on this project as 3 of the album's singles, Yeah 3 Times, Beautiful People, and Look at Me Now, would all enjoy international commercial success, with the latter being one of Breezy's most successful songs in the US. And we gotta give mad love to tracks like No BS, She Ain't You, Deuces, and Wet the Bed. However, the album's incorporation of EDM creates some skippable moments like the song Say It With Me. So since Chris Brown is forgetting...
Oh, hell no. Say It With Me is such a good track, yo. Like, have you ever actually listened to the synths and the MJ style vocals in that hook? Like, the verses leave some things to be desired, sure. But just the contrast of this heavy hitting hip hop beat and then this pop synth, like, it's a bold move to do in a track, and I think he pulled it off. So I don't think you should discredit Say It With Me, to be honest. I like that track. Really like that track, actually. It's really good. Some of the vocals in there and harmonies are top tier, yo.
Forgiving all his enemies, we'll let him slide on this one. Number 2, Chris Brown. The young phenom hit the ground running, dropping his career-defining intro album at just 16. Most artists wait their whole career to drop singles like Yo and Runnin', foreshadowing the longevity and dominance Breezy would enjoy for the next decade and a half. The album has some filler to it along the way, with the usual obstacles that come with such a young artist, but it was clear these issues would be buffed out and heavy expectations were placed on his shoulders out the gate. Dre and Vidal, Scott Storch, and the Underdog lighted up on production, while we also hear appearances from Lil Wayne, Joel Santana, and Bow Wow. Chris's self-titled debut is arguably one of the decade's best, ensuring the genre had a prosperous future ahead of it. With 154,000 in the first week's sales and number 2 on the Billboard charts, saying CB makes a good first impression on both critics and consumers is an understatement. Poppin', Say Goodbye, and Ain't No Way are also tracks you need to give a listen to if you hadn't heard them in a while. Number 1, Exclusive. Originally titled Graduate.
Okay, hold on. In no world is Exclusive a better album than Chris Brown. In no world. In no world. I know Exclusive is not in my top 5. I'm gonna just say it. It's not in my top 5. Exclusive is good, but it's not in my top 5. It has some classics. You have Take You Down, Do, Superhuman on the expanded Forever. Kiss Kiss was massive, but Kiss Kiss ain't like, had some great singles I would say, but I'm not very much of a fan of some of the album cuts. I loved Damage. Damage was really good. Yeah, Lottery. Like, some of the exclusive tracks were passable.
But changed out of respect for Kanye's album of the same name and dropped in the same year, Breezy's sophomore album overachieved in pretty much every way imaginable. Despite nearly doubling his previous first week mark, the project would debut at number 4 and be supported by 4 singles: Kiss Kiss, Take You Down, With You, and Wall to Wall, with Kiss Kiss sitting atop the charts and With You peaking at number 2. These would be some of the biggest songs of his career, and they hit when he was just turned 18. Exclusive sees a lot of the production team from his debut reprising important roles. We also see a massive leap in subject maturation and production. Adding B-side staples like Damage, Help Me, I'll Call Ya, and Lottery, well, you gotta run this one back. Exclusive is filled with some of Chris's best work to date, being certified quadruple platinum as of 2021. This hip-hop infused R&B album is hard to knock and is #1 on our list. Alright, that's it for this episode. Did we get it right? Comment below with your favorite Breezy tracks and features. Also, what did y'all think about him rapping though? Maybe that's a conversation for another time. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss a list as we do another deep dive into some of the culture's best catalogs. I'm QB.
Some of their opinions were reasonable. Some of them did make sense. The way they explained why they chose what they chose. But some of them were just out of this world obnoxious. Come on, bro. How are you gonna rank X 5th? How are you gonna rank Exclusive above Chris Brown? Where Fortune was okay. I just knew they would have ranked the 2 longest albums at the back. I'm surprised Graffiti actually got like what, 8th? That was a surprise. Royalty ranking above X was just caught me off guard completely. Like I did not see that coming at all. But the list is what it is. But if y'all ever want me to make my list, I will. And I'm not bashing these people, by the way. Like everyone's entitled to an opinion, but I think they kind of got it wrong. So, well, they got some of it wrong. But yeah, let me know what your ranking is below. If you're a Chris Brown fan and you've actually listened to these albums